Okay, check one, two, three. I am not one that stands on ceremony. I, I think I make it very clear. Not a lot of bells and whistles, not a lot of pull, not a lot of polish, yada yada. Here we are. I am just a dude with StreamYard and information, news, all of the shit that's out there. I'm trying to make sense of. Never know if anybody is gonna really take any time to come and see anything I do on this little piss soaked corner of the internet. But we never know how long we have on this life. And I am on quite a little path and I'm being very vague about it. I appreciate if some of you are frustrated with me just loosely kind of mentioning it. There's just shit that's personal. As much as I want to overshare, as much as I want to talk about everything and just kind of vent, rip the band-aid off, and go about what these next steps are. I just don't trust the public sphere, if you will, YouTube and other media platforms like it, with sharing so damn much of myself. So, how about I or we, for the sake of this very stream, just ignore all of that? Well, Eli, if you just stopped mentioning it, it wouldn't be an issue. So damn accurate. Hey, Shamrock, that's okay. Don't, this one, I couldn't blame anybody if, it wasn't very populated in here, and that's okay. I think I shouldn't even be saying this, but I don't care because I trust you implicitly. You and Josh and my family are the only people that know what's really around the corner for me, and I may have just made the decision to make it sooner than later. I'm also seeking as much advice as possible regarding this very personal thing, but I wish I wasn't so broken up about it. I wish I could just pretend it was something that's gonna be just another day in the office kind of a situation, and trust in God and trust that everything moving forward will be much more peaceful as a result. But nope, I'm facing a world of pain. Hey Shep, it's good to see you, my friend. And I appreciate the change of the hyper secret chat of secrets where we plot and strategize everybody's demise. That's right. Anybody who may have been shaken by the news that there's a chat where people go and it's only ever had four people, just you can trust nobody. Not even the words coming out of my mouth. Did I say four? I meant your friends, your family, your employed coworkers and people that you used to know who have secrets that you never wanted out. They're all in my chat, and I know everything about everyone. We're just waiting. Shep there, he has the button. He's gonna press that button on my say so before I go on this little vacation. This is all calculated, see? This is my veil. I'm the one putting the veil up, and that's why all this conspiracy stuff I'm about to talk about, because it's kind of dredging on in my head while there's personal matters in my life that I just am fixated on. I'm obsessed about it, and maybe, just maybe, I've decided to do this and hit that damn live stream button because I want to get out of my own head. Because I know ahead of me in maybe a couple of days or at max a week, I will not be around. And I don't know how long I won't be around for. And I'm terrified of what's to come. I know people can draw a lot of conclusions from what I'm saying. It's nothing bad, nothing, well, depends on what you look at or how you look at it, but suffice it to say, I'm a law-abiding citizen. I have been for quite some time, so it's nothing like that. And without getting into more details, I've already said too much, by God. But yes, everybody is involved in my own conspiracy plot. Now, y'all want to see a real conspiracy? The reason that I'm trying to distract myself? Here, let's get into it real quick. Let me rip the damn band-aid off. Now, I have two pretty polarizing things, and I don't know which one to pick first. Let's go with this. Anybody heard of this? Oh, I love ads and how they reflect everything. Oh, there goes the comic books. Now it's women's clothing. Okay. Well, I thought the algorithm had a good read on me. So this is dailymail.co.uk, right? In my experience over the years of waiting on information before I take something and talk about it, which is my way of vetting, I kind of look at the original source and then I wait to see what other sources pick up from the OG source. And once I see how far and wide it's been spread, well, this particular story, which if you haven't heard, I I'm going to ask how, if you haven't heard of this particular story. And before I report on, let me not say, I'm no journalist. I'm just a guy that likes to talk. And I feel blessed and thankful to every single one of you that are in that chat at present, that sees when I'm live and checks up on me. You guys, as parasocial and unhealthy as it sounds, you're like family to me. I've reached out to some of you privately. I've spoken to some of you privately. And I'm just thankful for the connection that we've built over the years, months, days, whatever it is. Actually, I can confidently say none of it has been just over a spot of or a span of a few days. We genuinely know each other. We know each other's lives. We know when someone is going through sorrow, and I'm proud of that. And again, for what I know, you know, sorry if you've said it publicly. I just I know what it's like. But so Shamrock, my heart again goes out to you sincerely regarding the loss you have experienced. It's something that's we're losing a family member, and it's so fresh in our minds every day when we wake up and they're not there. Been through that one twice, that particular loss, and this is why we've named each and every single dog of the same name. Maybe it's our way of dealing with that loss. Okay, sorry, I am a little bit of a wreck, but I'm trying to cover it. So back to what is on the screen. This is Amy Eskridge. If you don't know her, I want you to get somewhat familiar with her, and I want you to also bear in mind this visual, because if you scroll down, you see this here. Links between missing and not going to say unalived. Not going to say unalived. I don't like the YouTube speak. I don't like the censorship aspect of it. So, links between missing and dead officials. Now, what do you think they all have in common? I haven't really given much information for anybody to draw a conclusion here. They're all scientists that were tasked with a similar job, each and every single one of them. So bear this in mind. We're totaling up to 11, and it was only recently shared with me that Trump has suddenly, and I don't know, he's mentioned that the conspiracies that are growing as a result of the growing number of scientists. This one, particularly Amy Eskridge, rest in peace, by God, who is taking herself out with a little plug to the brain. What an amazing way to choose to go out when you're publicly advocating that you are not going to, I repeat, not going to take yourself out. You know what she said? I memorized the quote. The article's here, but I know the quote on the dome. She went out and went on a podcast, and I'm going to find it on this very live stream. I need to find it. She was doing God's work, all right, as far as I'm concerned. She was fighting the power. She knew the powers that be didn't want her talking about her work. Her story reminds me of the most famous and documented, I guess you can say, conspiracy theorist regarding the world's only Bob Lazar, who is like one of Joe Rogan's most reoccurring guests. He's had roughly, I don't know, up in the, I don't want to say 40s and not be certain. The number 11 came to mind, and then the number of the scientists here, forget it. Tinfoil hat off. This is so stupid. See what happens. All right. Now I want to see because of my gratitude. I want to see the chat, so I got to turn on my phone because when I'm here, can't see shit. What up, OT? What up, OGs? What up, people? I'm not doing the vertical pandering shit. Horizontal is where it's at, so fuck it. So a scientist experimenting with, guess what? Anti-gravity tech. That's the same shit that Bob Lazar talked about. He has given the most accurate accounts. I'm going to talk about Bob Lazar to lead into Amy Eskridge. He has given the most frightening accurate accounts of what he saw in Area 51, anti-gravity / propulsionary technology things that he identified. He is the only person we have who has ever stolen physical, tangible evidence from a black site, from a scene, and he has supplied it to the public. Now, I can be corrected. I can search it up. But as I recall, one of his documentaries shows an element that could not be identified. I'm going off of memory. So honing back into Amy Eskridge, Bob, I think, was able to get public enough to be somewhat safe. And this is what she said, the quote that I mentioned that I totally forgot I even mentioned. She said, better to force your head up out in public so that way if they chop your head off, somebody will notice, as opposed to sticking your neck out in the private sector. That way they can bury you and no one will ever know what it was you were trying to accomplish. So bear with me. Apologies. Not so much, but let me open this properly because I want to see anybody that has something to say. All right. So she was 34. And when she allegedly died from a self-inflicted gunshot to the head in Huntsville, Alabama, June 11th, 2022. However, neither the police nor medical examiners have publicly released any details of an investigation ever taking place. Okay, red flag immediately. Don't police always kind of follow up on something like this just to kind of, check all the boxes, to have some level of confidence? It's the service that is provided to we, the people and the families. Okay, there's no foul play here. We've done our thorough investigation. No, nobody did an investigation. Okay, excellent. Before her death, she was openly researching and trying to develop anti-gravity technology. Real shit. This is real shit. And I referenced it. I may be all over the place, but Trump has, I hear, publicly addressed the conspiracies. That word that tickles me so. A way to control or cancel. If you don't understand anti-gravity, well, I'll leave you to yourself. But anti-gravity propulsion has also been widely discussed by UFO researchers who have claimed this advanced technology allows alien spacecraft to retrieve. And basically, we've been trying to match the technology of alleged UFOs and alien life. Eskridge's death marks the 11th person with ties to America's space or nuclear secrets who has died or mysteriously vanished in recent years, putting U.S. national security experts on edge. I don't think national security experts being on an edge is enough of a service to the people that, for one, the people who are no longer here, that were doing the work of our government, the so-called greater good. Why is it? What line was not being toted? Was she just too open and too honest? The Daily Mail has reached out to the Eskridge family. I'm going to guess they didn't respond, as well as medical officials in Huntsville for comment on the circumstances surrounding her death. The scientists also claim that she specifically co-founded her research company. Co-founded. She was a woman on a mission. The Institute for Exotic Science to create a public-facing persona to disclose anti-gravity tech. Already we have somebody who is trying to not only be a voice of this tech, what it can do for us. Imagine the implications. Now, my conspiracy brain is going to go with there's too many people that make too much money to allow such a technology into the market. And if it is introduced to the market one day, well, it ain't going to happen now. It has to be regulated. It has to be under someone's control who is already controlled, because that's the way it goes. We all have to be the dominoes. Somebody else has to be the first to give the nudge. We're not in the club. George Carlin famously saying there's a big club. We are not in it. No, we are disposable even if we give our lives to researching and working for the man, the government, the G-man, or whoever. I'm tired of pretending they give a flying fuck about the day-to-day, or not even that. They don't give a flying shit that we wake up with air in our lungs. If it means one little iota of inconvenience, one little cog in the machine, one little gear that's just not turning quite the way they want. We are expendable at every step, from every facet of every imagination, and somehow the government, the powers that be, expect us to just be completely complacent and just keep on going. This shit being reported and shared on the news. 11 fucking scientists. Did you not see the damn the data and format, the faces that are publicly? I got to read some of the stories, and then you be the judge. And I have some clips. I have a clip that's related to. I'm trying so hard not to appear biased when I know I have my bias. I am human. I am not infallible regarding shit that is being reported from Gaza that may be full-on propaganda. I do believe that there is a Mossad-esque element, but we're influenced by everybody. But anyway, let's stick here. However, the Institute for Exotic Science has apparently closed since its co-founder's death, and its website is no longer accessible. Well, I mean, what a way to send a message. Take out a co-founder, the only one that had the balls to have a voice, and that voice has been eliminated. So somebody was literally going around parading that she was not suicidal, parading that her life was in danger, was because she's no longer with us. In 2018, Eskridge and her father delivered a presentation, on behalf of their company, Holocron Engineering. I'm going to copy that and paste it for future reference. Bear with me. Describing both historical and modern experiments related to gravity modification, including alleged black projects said to be developing triangular anti-gravity craft known as the TR-3B. I am learning new terms that okay. Yeah, I should have Google on default, but I'm just going to put the little copy-paste, Holocron Engineering, and this technology name that I'm not familiar with. You're going to see a bunch of chaos, but okay. This TR-3B acronym, I'm sure I'll get some info as I'm going through this in real time, but I want it now. And I don't want to get too many things incorrect. So let's have a couple of tabs open. TR-3B. Black Manta? Have I not heard of a Project Black Manta before? Okay. Let's take the overview here. The TR-3B Black Manta is a rumored top secret triangular shaped reconnaissance aircraft alleged to be developed by the U.S. military. Alleged, rumored, and alleged. Selective language. I guess you're really trying to nail the point home. Okay, sowing doubt already. Okay, it's a rumor. It's a rumor. Okay, that's a lot of text for a rumor. That's a lot of results for a rumor. Okay, rumor. What can I say? Reports describe it as silent, stealthy, large craft capable of advanced, non-conventional flight maneuvers, with many sightings associated with the Antelope Valley and Black Project aircraft. This video shows a 3D rendering of the TR-3B, highlighting its reported features. Okay, this is kind of new to me.
Skyscanner searches billions of prices from...
Apologies, and I'm maxing out my tab.
Apparently you can go from 0 to a complete site and just...
Love ads. You know what? Not for me. For y'all, I need to get the premium shit. This is some poor man shit I'm doing.
Secret military developments have always given rise to a lot of speculation and theories in the aviation fan community.
God bless the Shamrock. I'm sorry the chat's not crazy engaging, but I'm going to try my best to keep your eyes on the prize here, okay? I'm doing my best.
One such development was the TR-3B Black Manta, a military aircraft project that teeters on the edge of science fiction and conspiracy theories. But in today's video, we'll be trying to find out which side of the scale it leans more towards. For decades, there have been numerous reports of large, fast, black, triangular UFOs from around the world. But was what eyewitnesses encountered really of alien origin?
Something I noticed, this is related, but it's just maybe a gripe I have. I've been very public about some of my issues with just the state of the world right now, and something I said in one of my last lives regarding my spirituality, I feel was misunderstood, but I don't fully understand, and I'm against broad strokes. someone in the Christian faith told me that aliens just don't exist, and I can only assume that the individual is implying that we are the only things in this universe because we are God's creation. Am I being blasphemous if I say that not only do I believe that there is aliens out there, but I've always believed that there's aliens out there because the universe is as big as it is, as infinite as it is. And I've believed that. One could say I've been indoctrinated to believe it because I recall in second grade, I was arguing with my friend's parents about the life of UFOs and aliens existing because my mother has very fascinating stories that I if I shared them, some people might use it against me and be like, "Oh, she's crazy." Well, she's 82 and she's lived a very full life. She's got stories, and I guess it would be up to you to believe or not. But she has what to gain lying about it consistently for 82 damn years. From me being a child to present day, she still talks about it. Let me see this thing.
Perhaps the best phrase that can describe the TR 3B aircraft on behalf of the U.S. authorities is, "We don't have that, but if we have to, we will use it." The TR 3B, also known by the codename Black Manta, is a top secret American reconnaissance aircraft.
That's an interesting quote. Where did that quote come from? We don't have it, but if we have to, we'll use it. I've never heard such a crazy, diabolical statement like that. And I mean that in terms of like, what? We ain't got that shit, but if we do, motherfucker, don't you make us. What the hell?
Developed under the Black Project. However, before concentrating on what this plane was, we'd like to take you on a short excursion into the world of mysterious black triangles. Sightings of such triangles have been reported since the early 1980s, when several hundred people claimed to have seen a UFO over the Hudson River in New York.
Okay. The UFO sighting stuff, that's not breaking news to anybody. That's been so consistent over the span of how many decades in our country. Let's see. This is, I'm sorry if I'm mashing it together a little atrociously, but here is a story regarding one of the fathers of these scientists that were doing the work that I imagine they were paid to do, and at some point the contract was up and they just wouldn't stop. You can't just give somebody a bone in their level of expertise, have them completely fascinated, enamored with the work that they're doing on any project, and then just expect them to forget everything they've done, seen, or if they see the capabilities of what this tech could do for humanity. God forbid humanity benefits and someone doesn't get paid. God forbid. So let me see this. This particular clip I've not seen in and of itself.
Now an 11th scientist with connections to top secret government secrets who has died or gone missing within the last 4 years under a mysterious...
I'm interested in what you have to say there, Shamrock. I don't necessarily believe aliens exist, and it's totally okay. Remember, we are not a representation of so many of the other places that we see where they just do not accept that people disagree about things. It's okay. It's refreshing. But I also do believe the possibility of aliens existing is completely possible, and I'm a Christian. Thank you, embodying the example of, I think, millions of other Americans. There's all kinds of creatures that exist, so why not? I mean, as I understand it, I have the Encyclopedia of Angels somewhere in my library, so I'm aware. Even the Christian mindset, if you will, allows for the idea and belief of things other than humans existing. So for me, I'm just going one further step, I suppose. I'm leaving the realm of creatures and deities. I'm delving into extraterrestrial. I also believe the government uses the aliens are real to distract us from whatever well, I mean, Trump out of the blue now kind of promising to release a bunch of information that will be critical for us. I'm just, and it's directly tied apparently to the conspiracies formulating around exactly what we're presenting here. So let's see. Let me see the tail of tape for the first time. The universe is so massive, it's possible we aren't the only intelligent humanoids out there. That's not a radical statement to me, as blasphemous as it may be. You heretic! It's just, I am biased. I'm biased. I don't know anybody else that admits that, by the way. I was essentially raised to believe that this probability is exactly that. And it's probable. It's not only quite possible, it's even closer than that. It may as well just damn well be the truth. Maybe we just don't know exactly how to articulate, with the distinctions, alien, humanoids, and all that. But for me, it's just plain old yes. Something other than humans are out there somewhere in the vastness of space. So, without further interruption.
And conspiracy theories are ballooning online. President Trump even addressing the ongoing mystery yesterday.
Hold on. This is a worthy pause. I have this exact data map on the article, but they have it in this video. Let me put this down. Okay, so we got Eskridge, 34 years old. It's so young. The Institute co-founder. Okay, we have a Michael David Hicks, 59, 2023, 1 year after her. Jet Propulsion Laboratory. Frank Maywald, 61, 2024. The same company, the same study, NASA affiliated Jet Propulsion Laboratory. Okay, already these two right here, by God, there's a year apart, but both of these scientists were working on jet propulsion or in the Jet Propulsion Laboratory. That was their specialty. So died. I love that they're putting died. It's always some egregious accident that's barely explainable. And then we have, look at missing. Holy shit. I didn't realize how many are missing. How do world-renowned scientists working on this kind of shit just disappear? Okay. Nuno Lori, forgive me. Rest in peace. I cannot say your last name. Loriero, 48 years old, died 2025. Massachusetts Institute of Technology. Carl Grillmeyer, 2020. Whoa, let's do all right. Holocron, Carl Grillmeyer. I want to look that name up real time. Not on Microsoft. Carl Green. There we go. Whoa, he came up in the algorithm. Astronomer. Here's the fellow. Died this year. Obituary shed light on wave of dead scientists as White House probes. That's Newsweek 2 days ago. Canadian astronomer and astrophysicist. He was a research scientist, California Institute of Technology since 97. Studied exoplanets, galactic structure, and dark matter. This is the kind of shit that is the most fascinating to me. And I've learned over my years talking to everybody, because I won't just write somebody off and ignore them, even if we disagree on the most fundamental aspects. I know the concern that comes from some people that are really, into their faith. They believe like dark matter and stuff, that we shouldn't be messing with it. Science is going to science, bro, even if it takes us out. As much as I celebrate my own faith and my own conviction, I think even, zealotry being applied to religion, this shit can take us out. So, yeah, we're kind of 50-50 on what it will be. So where do I go? Let me go to Newsweek here. Trump statement? Oh, good. I haven't seen the statement. I only heard it referenced. Stupid ad. Okay, give it a few seconds to pass. I would love to see, because I've heard it referenced at least stop saying that. At least 8 times. 8 times he I'm told, oh yes, he made some sort of reference, and because of this exact story is why we're getting all the information we're going to get, and I am fascinated. I am tickled to see what it is. All right, unmute.
Holding right now. And even Donald Trump is calling it serious stuff. The White House is looking into a growing list of American scientists who have either died or gone missing over the past few years, many of them tied to advanced research, including space, nuclear, and defense programs. We're talking about NASA researchers, military.
Hold on. I gotta say, fucking hello. I know. You know what happened? I did the video about the Joe Rogan Theo Von thing. I hate talking numbers. It's cringe. 3,000 views. Oh God. The bunch of people started lambasting me because, oh my God, they disagreed. But I had to explain it very specifically to one person. Oh my God, fucking skip 17 minutes, bro. Just get to the point, motherfucker. I do this shit live because it's how I'm comfortable doing it. I don't want to talk into a void and hit record. No, I'm live and I like jiving with the people, son. Now I've addressed it publicly. I left you a comment. Fucking marinate in your anger. So what's up, BSR? Holy shit, is the one and only Stephen A. G Money. Guys, I will be bringing this up again. Maybe by the end of the stream, I might just rip the Band-Aid off and let everybody know. But me personally, all right, in my life, and I'll try to make this very brief out of respect for your time, I'm not going to be around for a while, and I don't know how long that's going to be, but just know the reasons are for the benefit of my own life and health, and that's why. It's something I have to. I feel like I owe it to a lot of you. I know there's going to be the people that just dislike me because of whatever. Throughout my years, I wasn't here to be loved by everybody. I may have tried, and that was my mistake. But I'm doing something that is for me and for my family, and that takes precedence over everything. So I may be gone for quite some time. I don't know how long. We'll see how that goes. We'll see how long that process is. So stuck in the middle, I asked Josh, please keep going on, brother, while I'm gone. And when I return, let's see. So back to it. And again, my gratitude to all of you. Left-handed spoon. I don't know. Interesting. It's possible. It's something medical. Could be. Nothing I'll say to you straight away, though. You could speculate, or you can be on a certain panel channel where I spilled all the tea. I shout out to that community, by the way, because I trust the people there and I adore them. And somehow saying it over there was like not having to really acknowledge how strong of a step, how big of a step this is to those of you that know me. But anyway, I digress. Whatever it is, it will be, and it's going to come out soon anyway, so I don't care. Yeah, no, this is, let me, BSR, you're on, let's get that one on screen, okay? Just so everybody knows. Pitbulls, God bless you, darling. God bless you for your damn kindness. All right, so it's out of the bag. It's out of the bag. Let's get this over with. So I'm going from Eli. The Eli you have all known and come to absolutely hate, and oh my God, do I do these word salad moments. I am the oversharer guy on YouTube. I must have pissed you off something fierce. All of you out there that are still mad at me from some shit during the like up church crack squad whatever days. Oh my God, there's like 2 people that I know. I'm invited to their streams by the channel owner. He's, I think, troll, but he's respected. Just these 2 people, they fucking hate my guts, and I can't really identify why. Whatever the case. Okay, I want to leave that one up there so that everybody can just rest assured. Yes, that's what's happening, and I gotta get the work done. The banana has to be split, and I need my recovery time. So how do you segue from that? I got into my personal rant. Oh yeah, I was looking up this guy. Sorry. Tail the tape. We're back to it. We're doing it live. This is why I do it live. I can't do no concentrated flow of consciousness recorded session. Fuck that shit.
Officials and experts connected to sensitive government work. At least 10 cases have raised concerns ranging from unexplained deaths to sudden disappearances. So far, authorities have not established any clear connection between them, but the pattern has been enough to get the White House's attention.
No connection? What did we just see on that graph? Two of the fucking scientists within a 2-year span are dead. They worked in the same laboratory for NASA. And 5 of those scientists are dead, working on similar technology. Can't we see the common theme of the type of work throughout every single scientist that's on the damn graph? Holy shit. Newsweek guy, are you like diluting the story? The graph is there. You know what? Maybe the graph came out after the story. I'll have to look at it. It's all speculation. I don't have the evidence, but by God, don't treat us like we're stupid.
On what you've been briefed, what do you think is happening here, and do you think that this is connected or totally random?
Well, I hope it's random, but we're going to know in the next week and a half. I just left a meeting on that subject, so pretty serious.
Crazy conspiracy. And remember, I'm still very public about, I've decided the Trump AI picture, which was a reuse, I'm convinced it was a strategic loss, kind of a play on Trump's part. I think he knew this would get the conversations and the outrage and a lot of the attention hyper fixated and focused on that, and it accomplished just that. Nobody seems to be remembering Melania's awkward speech, so he took a calculated risk and accepted the losses. And I don't know, he kind of played the strings of the puppets, I guess. And where I'm going with this is that I think it's possible. Remember, fuck all disclaimers. I'm just gonna say what I feel. By God, I'm exhausted. Life is short. I don't know what's gonna happen to me around the corner. Who fucking knows? So Trump here, I think it's very possible. When I look at Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson, Nick Fuentes, Alex Jones, now even the Hodge fucking twins, they've abandoned ship now. Usually, and Megyn Kelly, right? And I respect some of these people, but usually it's a one at a time, kind of, it takes its own time kind of ordeal. But all at once, damn near just about all at once. We know Tucker Carlson has been funded by Qatar. I'm hearing Qatar. I thought, fuck me for thinking so highly of myself. I thought that was some sort of breaking news thing. And then when I bring it up on a show where we had at least a good number of eyes on us, where I knew it would be mixed, received in a way that not everybody would be applauding it. And I even said it to somebody on the phone line, Julian, my dear Nazi friend out there, Julian, where art thou? I know that's a fake name. You don't have the conviction nor the courage to put your real self out there. That's why you prank call the show at Science Stuck in the Middle, because you're triggered, because we won't take your bait. We won't bow to your groiper fucking mentality. I think you're all in a psyop, and that this is a manifestation to some degree. I acknowledge Trump has done his own damage. He is not the smartest man on this fucking planet, but he's smarter than you, motherfucker. And there is a deep state that's been waiting and seething for the opportunity for the optics to be negative enough for him to finally be attacked. He's pissed off how many people that know they will outlive a presidency. How many people have secure jobs in the CIA and the FBI? We know for a fact, just within those 2-3 letter agencies, those groups, he made a ton of fucking enemies campaigning on. We need to expose the deep state, this, that, just that rhetoric alone, that must have pissed people off. And you know what? People can criticize all of his firings too. I fucking support somebody that's being that aggressive and hardcore when it comes to wanting to get a job done to where it's effective. And who the fuck cares who he fires as long as the job keeps getting done? So I'm not going to just jump on any fucking bandwagon because it's more convenient, because more people will click on a fucking link or agree with what I'm saying, and I'll get my attaboys for dinner. No, I do not believe that this is all natural, what's occurring. I don't celebrate everything he does. I voted for him, and I stand to some degree on the confidence that he's still doing his best with the shittiest of circumstances, and that there is absolutely an invested party, deep state. I mean, look at some of the people he has taken on. This is the motherfucker that dropped the dime on Epstein. Bring up him and his wife and all the mentions as much as possible. I've only seen one redacted email that is a disgusting and deplorable email, but it's just like one of my most intelligent friends. He was a fucking university professor. He was teaching people how to hack. He actually made quite a living off of hacking before the college professor thing. He shared this exact email with the redaction implying that has to be Trump that said it. The most intelligent people. How can you make that conclusion? And I understand we can apply this outrage, though. Trump, man, come on. Why are we protecting these fuckers? Why? So you see, manifesting is my own duality, my own conflict about wanting to see the right things happen, but acknowledging what could also be happening at the same time. And I cannot wait till whenever it's going to be, when we talk about some of the new information that's come out that could be a career ender for Candace Owens and her fucking cult following. They finally, that's why we say investigations need time, shitheads. I understand the just asking questions shit. I can't wait till she says she had a dream about the bees in Israel. You guys hear about that story? So, okay, I've interrupted the president. Like it or not, be conflicted about it. It's your right as an American. He is still the president, though. You can still talk about how much you want a 25th Amendment him, impeach him. I think that's just a Tuesday for him.
Stuff, but we're going to be now. Hopefully, I don't know, coincidence, if you want it, whatever you want to call it. But
I'm with you, BSR. Okay, real time. This is why I do the live thing. I'm gonna take that damn comment down. By the way, I think it's up there long enough. Okay. Give it a moment here. Let's remove that. I agree with you. I agree. So what I'm saying here is I agree with why you have issues with that. We criticize that he was in a catch-22 situation. Operation Warp Speed was being demanded of him. It was the only way he could. And am I defending him? I'm going with just what I feel. I don't really have skin in the game. I just want to see a president that's successful and a people that's united, which is so far out of the reality of where we are. It feels like, and I'm tired of that feeling. This is why I'm going to center more on helping myself and then coming out the other side, hopefully feeling like I can do better than where I am and what I am. But yeah, I don't think there was anything he could have done. He had to, oh man. So I'm arguing for a deep state, and I'm also explaining how he kind of went along with the narrative of the jab, but at least he wasn't as critical on other things that could be utilized. At least, look, he got RFK on board. Hate on him as much as you want. This reminds me of another tinfoil hat moment. Everybody bring your smoke. I know it'll probably get clipped up. There's channels out there that'll hate me for the rest of their lives. You guys see the shit that they're coming after RFK for recently, perchance? It's the most fucking ridiculous news story that's news, and I cannot believe this is the kind of headlines that we're going with. Don't worry, we got more footage. So I don't know where I gotta look it up. I have to. I don't want to be dishonest. I don't want to get it wrong. So RFK. All right, let me let him finish. It's like less than a minute, 30 seconds.
some of them were very important people, and we're going to look at it over the next short period.
The issue has gone from online speculation to something now being acknowledged inside the White House. Some of the cases include a NASA scientist whose cause of death was never publicly disclosed, and others who vanished without a trace. There have also been calls from lawmakers for the FBI to step in and investigate what's going on. Still, no confirmed evidence of foul play.
Asking the FBI to conclude that everything is on the up and up is like asking a crack dealer to go make sure somebody stays clean while they have access. It's like asking Upchurch to be sane for one night in his extremely echoed and empty, loveless home because he's alone. Sorry, you caught a stray there, Upchurch, but by God, we're forever fucking disgustingly connected in some deplorable way. And I've been following your demise, bro. Karma's a bitch.
Confirmed link between the cases, but a growing list of unanswered questions. Now, a federal probe could determine whether this is coincidence or something more nefarious.
Yes, I'm gonna laugh in the face of coincidence. Coincidence. I think some of the wisest people say there are no coincidences in life. All right. I'll assume that clip damn near utilized everything. Now, if you're unfamiliar, Holocron. Okay, you see, I'm like Squirrel, and I want to just dig deeper into that rabbit hole. Let me show you the story. RFK clip. Can I YouTube find this sucker? I know you can't hear me great. Oh, busted. Okay. RFK raccoon. I hope you guys don't know about this. If you do, I'm sorry. Raccoon story. Oh, God. You can probably see the text. I haven't seen this clip. I seen a clip of him being walked up to and asked about this. And like, this is what they're trying to make news. And when I say they, the media, the powers that be, the people that know to get to Trump, they have to weaken the administration. So I'm speculating that they're going to go after everybody that's closely tied with him, that hasn't agreed on the side, in the shadows to pull some like Caesar stab in the back shit. So I think RFK is an obvious target. They have the TMZ. Oh, well, we're not playing 20 minutes. All right. Let me see this. And why is this being talked about? Let's see if I learned something. Let's see if we learned something. Oh, that's...
If not, QCare's got you.
YouTube, can you do better? Can I get like beer and tits on my ads? All right.
Thank you for your time today. I have to say, as I listen here, with all the health initiatives that you're espousing, I have grave concerns about the HHS bill budget and the cuts that are being proposed. I spent 20 years on a school board and saw firsthand the support system.
I will concede and agree. Yeah, Crash Patel, I think the word fits very appropriately. He has done such a fucking just terrible job. It's easy to armchair quarterback, but by God, he is given the worst looks possible, causing more speculation, more conspiracies. He has done, I think, opposite of what the FBI is supposed to do in most investigations. And with the information, everything we knew he was about, he went day to night, just like not Bolzari, Bongino. Crash Patel, that stands. Well done, brother.
Children have or don't have outside of the classroom shape their outcomes. At the most basic level, children can't go to school if they're sick, they can't learn on an empty stomach, and their families can't get ahead if they can't access health care. I'd like to first talk to you about your proposed cuts to
Why? Okay, this is important. I won't keep interrupting, but I will. This is important, all right? I understand why the House is having this conversation. Why the hell did what I just typed, RFK raccoon story? Could you let me know if you want? If you want, in the chat, just hit 1. Let me show you how it's done, because for whatever reason, little requests. I know there's people that like to pocket watch. They don't want to come out the woodwork there. So just do this for me if you think it makes fucking sense to, during a hearing about budgeting or healthcare or whatever, to out of the blue ask questions about him cutting off a raccoon's schmeckle, because that's where this is going. Oh, and did you know that was a story that's being spread? This to me, by the way, yeah, feel free to hit 1 if you knew of the story or if you think it's inappropriate. That almost seems too all-encompassing. But that aside, this seems like the exact kind of rhetoric or a narrative to be just outrageous enough, perfectly outrageous enough to want to keep people's eyes. It's the kind of thing that'll get people to look at somebody and not take them seriously. So that's like one phase of an operation. And then so you kind of make them a laughing stock, which makes them more malleable to change. And then slowly, once you have people speculating about you, laughing at you, you're not taken seriously. you become a laughing stock, then you're pretty much safe to eliminate on a public level in terms of his position. At some point, this raccoon story is going to lead to, are you fit for the job? And, like, what the fuck? Are we really? Sure, it's an appealing line, I guess, for a headline. It'll get the tabloids going, but what in the shit is it even doing in this clip that I'm about to watch for the first time? So let's see. You just here to press buttons? Me too. I think that's, if God had a purpose for me, and by God, am I still trying to figure it out? Am I still ever? It's to press buttons.
Medical research. I was reading an article this morning that talked about your affinity to perform your own medical research. You apparently once cut the penis off a road-killed raccoon to study them later. You speak fondly of medical research, yet your budget cuts show that the National Institute...
Was that necessary? This is, man, I'm not reaching, or maybe I am. I don't know. You are the beholder. You will have your opinions about my little presentation at the end of it all, but this really seems like a hit job. Why would that out of the blue come out during your presentation regarding the work he is doing? I understand you like your own medical practices, like, cutting off raccoon dicks. So what the fuck? Like, this is why I think, we can all be seen as a laughing stock. It's never just the one president. While Biden didn't do us favors, and I know people that hate Trump, they'll say he's the reason we're ever laughed at. But come on, I'm laughing at the opposition, maybe even the paid opposition that is going after the administration and he with this kind of ridiculous rhetoric. She couldn't even say it with a fucking straight face. Did you catch it? She almost cracked a smile. She almost broke character. Fucking ridiculous. Why is this even on? Why is this news? This is a weapon. It is a weapon, I promise you.
Institutes of Health are going to get a cut of more than 12%. This level of cuts would halt promising research, force layoffs of scientists and research staff, and undermine America's global leadership in medical intervention and innovation. What specific diseases do you believe deserve less medical research?
In that question, where was it necessary to mention this raccoon story? Am I now somewhat curious enough to understand why he did that? Sure, but now that's supposed to be like the soundbite and the narrative that is going to shadow his entire career. Like, have your gripes with him, but I respect him because he went up against his own family in pursuit of a career where he's not beholden to the DNC. He publicly said, his own, the Kennedy family said, hey, fuck this guy. Don't vote for him. He went against, what we are as a family. He went up to me and stood up as some form of an independent who happened to find himself being conservative. He has stood by his beliefs. People that may not fully understand or hate what he's saying about vaccines maybe are being over pushed. Too much shit is being pushed into our children's and babies' bloodstreams. So yeah, the scientific community, the insurance communities, all of that, and the people that always trust the plan, those kind of stands, they all hate him and they want even more of a reason to laugh at him. Well, I still respect him, but they want to make him a creep now because, and I don't know the story. I hear something like raccoon roadkill and he chopped it off. I don't fucking know. Maybe I'll find out. Maybe he'll clarify, but I wish this wasn't news. I wish everybody, the media and his attackers, take accountability. Look at what you're doing with your power of a platform. You're talking about this bullshit.
DEI.
Okay, so
we got $1 billion.
Do you have a specific program, a specific disease that deserves less funding?
I would say we're putting $1 billion into DEI, and DEI research has never cured any disease. It's never produced any new drug.
Okay, so between February of 2025 and April of 2025, HHS canceled or froze more than $180 million in National Cancer Institute grants. Were you the one to approve these cuts to cancer grants, or did that come directly from the White House?
We're giving the highest one of the highest budget increases to NCI.
Can you just
in this
answer my
proposed budget.
specific question? Were you the one who approved those cuts, or did that come from the White House?
As I said, we are raising the budget for NCI, for the National Cancer Institute, in this budget.
Yeah.
It's one of the only agencies throughout my sub-agencies throughout my entire agency that's receiving a raise.
Okay, so Secretary Kennedy, you have the responsibility to tell the truth to this committee, and here are some examples of cuts. In April of 2025, HHS canceled an NIH grant regarding strategies to...
Okay, I don't need to hear. I think they just got the bite of him being confronted, because look at that, Forbes. Oh man, who's in your fucking back pockets, Forbes? And you know what? Credit to him. Credit to him, regardless of the ridiculous title. DEI. Have you guys seen the video of where a reporter went to a Jesse Jackson DEI, like, what do you call them? Meeting, festival, fucking whatever. And none of the participants could define what DEI meant as an acronym, or could they could do little else either. They could hardly even articulate why they were all gathered there and for what end. Questions regarding the funding of DEI, they it's like they had no idea. It's like they were just dropped in there. What in the shit? So we want to fund people that have no idea what it is, of what it is they believe to be benefiting them. They're told it benefits them, so maybe they just go off of hearsay, because the damn video I saw on site showed an example of a bunch of people that maybe their intentions are pure as fuck, but damn, they made it look bad. Can the people that demand funding at least know what they're asking for and why? That's all I'm asking. I think at this juncture in our country, and I respect anybody that disagrees, we can have a conversation. DEI ain't doing a fucking thing for us. Merit-based, period. That's a non-debate to me. Merit-based. Leave it at that. Do I even want to look into... RFK makes insane admission as new book reveals unthinkable story. So he wrote in a book that he cut off a raccoon's dick. Okay. Fucking amazing news. Let's all be shocked. Oh... And fuck it, by God, move on and let the man work. Let me see this. Because, frankly, regardless of what little faction you find yourself to be in, the groypers that believe as a conservative, this is Nick Fuentes' people, every conservative needs to just spite vote and vote for the Democrats. How does that make sense? How the fuck does that make sense? Oh, and there's a fascinating video that I got of Nick Fuentes and Ana Kasparian. So we have the far left with Ana Kasparian. She's on the Young Turks. She was a Bernie bro like myself. And then Nick Fuentes, who is the new, he is the Hispanic, Jew-hating, Nazi piece of shit spawning people that just seem to live and breathe the fact that Zionism needs to be destroyed and that Israel needs to be eradicated and removed. Congratulations. I've made my position very clear. All right. A right to fucking exist. Fine. I don't want them having any influence on us. America first. But I don't like seeing the whole leaning towards, oh, Hitler was actually a swell, intelligent guy. You know, even on Facebook, I go on like Holocaust remembrance. Like I'll be scrolling something to do with remembering and never forget, or October 7th, and all of the comments and the laugh reacts are indicative of people just dogging the entirety of Jewish people. Do people understand? Not all Jewish people are Zionists. That there are Jewish people that celebrate Christ, and you know. I want to leave it to anybody that sees this. Leave it in a comment after the live stream. Timestamp this shit. Where does it put me and my father? My father has always believed in Christ. He was bar mitzvahed, but he never followed the Jewish faith. I was baptized Catholic. I'm not of the blood. Blah, blah, blah. I hate telling this story. It just seems like I have to keep telling my fucking origin for justification, which is silly as shit. But, like, I feel because I wear this symbol that's so offensive It unlocks new dialogue if you walk out there in the real world. Oh, it's amazing. And I'll admit, some Jewish people get a little maybe overzealous about sharing things with me, but the same to the fucking Groyper community or to anybody that has whole swallowed this fucking psyop, Mossad fucking psyop, Tucker Carlson, Qatar, $15 million accepting piece of shit, Candace Owens. I got no real issues with Megyn Kelly, Dan Bilzerian, all these fuckers right now that think destroying Israel is going to solve all of the world's problems. Yeah, I take issue with that. And maybe you can say that I am taking up for the Jews. That's how it was worded to me. I am taking up for them by saying Israel has its right to exist. I do not condone their acts, and I hope that to some degree, I mean, the conflict in the Middle East and Israel is fucking eternal. And I wish there could just be peace. That's such a safe answer, but I do. I just think Israel has its right to exist and that the entirety of its people should not be looked at as something that should be destroyed. And I cannot believe that it feels like I'm witnessing a world that's going down that rabbit hole. And I acknowledge the sickness I have when saying, I know if I said otherwise, if I said, yeah, destroy it all, destroy them all, I think I would get more support from the interwebs, because that's just the thing to do right now. The path to the path of least resistance is not always the correct path. If things get easier because you're starting to say the same shit this whole other fad, this whole other crowd is now saying, and you're accepted in there, if that's for whatever reason some sort of form for you, that you're on the straight and narrow, that you're righteous, you're on the pedestal, well, fuck you. You're in for the wrong reasons. You're doing the same grift as Candace Owens. But if you really believe that the entirety of the Jewish people, because of Zionists, which is not even, again, a broad stroke for every Jewish person, if you do believe that's enough for the entire race of the Jewish people to be attacked, I won't say I got nothing for you. I've had long debates and conversations with actual Nazis. I've been jumped by 2 neo-Nazis at a bike club. I've told that story. I know some people love that. I invite you to have a conversation on a panel, on a phone, on this show or another show. This ain't even a show. It's more like a vlog. I'm here. I want to understand. Maybe I can be educated. I never pretend that I am correct. But and it's refreshing to understand, or to change your mind in real time. It's refreshing to feel like you're learning something new. But yeah, because I wear this symbol, because I love my grandma. She was not even a practicing Jew, but by blood, she was. So yeah, if I'm doing all of this, I'm taking the path of more resistance because I believe in wearing this out of respect for my grandma. And that's really the sole reason why I'm taking up for the entirety of the Jewish people, it appears, because I am thankful to every ancestor I've had that brought that woman into my life who was a second mother to me. That's why I feel like I got skin in the game. And I'll take whatever hate I have to in the meantime. All right, let's get back to this. Sorry, I'm quite all over the place.
Now, an 11th scientist with connections to top secret government secrets who has died or gone missing within the last 4 years under mysterious conditions. And conspiracy theories are ballooning online. President Trump even addressing the ongoing mystery yesterday, confirming the U.S. government is looking into it.
Well, I hope it's random, but we're going to know in the next week and a half. I just left a meeting on that subject, so pretty serious stuff. But we're going to be hopefully, I don't know, coincidence, if you whatever you want to call it. But some of them
about this possible 11th case.
Well, Nicole, just before her death in 2022, Amy Eskridge had announced plans to present her groundbreaking work with anti-gravity technology. The 34-year-old had been openly experimenting in the field and founded a research company called the Institute for Exotic Science to establish a more public space for developments in anti-gravity work. Her death from a supposed self-inflicted gunshot wound has long been...
Remember, if you think you're not being psyoped to win your mind and your heart over so much so that you'll find yourself hating an entire people, then just remember the power that is held by the people that are probably, I can say almost with my entire chest out here, taking out scientists that were working for the government at such a pace and rate where we can have it staring in our faces and still say maybe it's a coincidence, but it's enough to have pushed Trump to have to release something in response. I hope that's not just a distraction from the justice that is still necessary and will always be necessary. These people decided to work for our country.
In question, since she had expressed that her life was in danger at the time. Eskridge worked closely with her father. And according to NASA, Richard Eskridge is a retired engineer whose many projects included novel work on a system to propel a spacecraft with high-speed plasmoids. Well, I spoke with him briefly today, and he dismissed any link between the death of his daughter to the 10 other scientists who've mysteriously died or gone missing over the past few years.
This is
all had links to government secrets. And
to my knowledge, this is the second victim of a mysterious self-deletion event where the family says, no, there's nothing strange here. We're just mourning. It's just not. How can we even consider that they're not terrified to speak out? I mean, look, one of their own was just done in, their own kin. Are we really going to put the pressure on them to blow the whistle when they know they could be disappeared just as easily? Scientists working for the government are disappeared or unalived, and we're told they did it to themselves, and they expect us to stick with that. And we're going to put any pressure on the family to, continue their fight, as noble as it is. It doesn't appear nobility is winning any battles when it comes to the strong arm of the fucking deep state. For a lack of a better term, there is a deep state there. I think it's almost silly to assume otherwise. We see some surface level of control. We get excited, but it's never, if they get a little too close to the sun, well, live long enough as a hero, you become inevitably, because others are in control of our fates if we're telling our story too publicly, if that makes any sense. I'm not saying with full confidence that Trump is doing all the right moves. I'm just saying he's got enemies.
Programs tied to military defense and UFOs. Richard Eskridge, he did not want to be interviewed, but he told me on the phone, scientists die also, just like other people. Nicole?
All right. So Nancy, there are already questions before this newest one. We even have lawmakers weighing in. I mean, what more can you tell us about maybe what happens next?
Yeah, well, the mystery surrounding these scientists, it's definitely taken on a life of its own on the web, where all kinds of conspiracy theories abound. There's even talk of a murder conspiracy targeting people who...
Shocking. Why? Why would the good people who trust us implicitly, the media and the government, why would they dare ask if there are people being killed? That's unheard of. MK Ultra, every project the CIA has ever carried out, the last public hearing that presented what they were capable of in 1975, showing a literal heart attack gun, which was ice that melts in your fucking system with a poison. That was 1975. Since that, they have not publicly shown us any weapons of the craft. So, why would we even speculate that there's a connection? Crazy talk, conspiracy. That label does not carry the strength it used to. People are not ostracized anymore. Hell, I think it gives them a ticket to be taken even more seriously. You guys created this. You guys clusterfucked the entire operation and purpose of the term conspiracy theorist being weaponized to make people be scoffed at and avoided. Look at the platforms that are celebrated. Look at the breaking records of conspiracy theorist podcasters right now. I may not like all of them, but by God, more people flock to this area where conspiracy theory is like a law of actuality as opposed to the media. It's reality. Face it. And you all made this. Don't ever ask why we don't have trust for you and the government, ever, unless you know you're insulting everybody's intelligence.
Who supposedly know too much. 2 of the scientists' deaths are cases of murder, and a number of disappearances are people who weren't considered suicidal. In the case of Monica Reza, the experienced hiker went missing during a hike last year here in Southern California. She had worked with General William McCaslin, a so-called UFO gatekeeper who also went missing just 2 months ago. Now, we just got a statement from Republican Congressman Eric Burlison, who's among those pushing for answers. He tells News Nation, these are some of the most advanced scientists and researchers in our nation working on critical national security efforts, and several have mysteriously disappeared. This is too coincidental, and we have to be investigating this. With President Trump now acknowledging the mystery with a vow of a top-level review, there is new hope due to his comments about answers in the next week or two. Nicole?
All right, Nancy Liu live there in LA. Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and down.
No, Cuomo. I was not ready, sir. Okay? It needs to be a calculated risk before I see your face. Thank you. I'm going to have to briefly, I got to cover my sources. I want to look into, let me see. Sorry if I don't read the comments as they come. I know I got one video that should get us all riled up. That seems to be all we can really do. Kumbaya is never that much of a success. My uncle married a Jewish American who moved. Oh, how dare your uncle? How dare he? Now you're all on a list. You're on a list. Who moved back to Israel, and I have cousins who are Jewish living in Israel. I'll take up for the Jews just like I would for all of humanity because I'm not a racist bigot. It's that simple for me. It's not the most rewarding position to take, but by God, we have our vindication, we conviction in what we believe. And Shamrock, God bless you. What's up, Pooh, brother? I see you, man. I hope you're well. Things are rough all around. I'll acknowledge, but I hope you're good, man. As good as we can be. Shamrock, yeah. I don't know. It's happening so fast, so urgently, and it's not helping that I'm doom scrolling and I'm blackpilling myself. I'm not trying to, but I am trying to always make sense of things and almost understand a pattern. You know what? You guys wanna watch me crash out? I got something for you. I'm gonna dox myself a little bit. I made oh shit. Okay, there is. Can I segue into this safely? Fuck it. Before I do the doxing myself and the crashing out, I want to share this. What you got, brother? I open a t-shirt shop on an Air Force base next week. All right, bro, and you finally be healed. I've been praying since I seen you in that hospital bed. Since then, since prayer has become such a regimented part of my life, it's so strange to think about it, given that I was such a hardcore atheist for so long, for the longer part of my adult life. But prayer has been helpful, and I dare not think it's done anything, but I want you to know my heart is with you. My faith is there rooting for you. We're all rooting for you. We appreciate you, man. You are one of the names that I've referenced as being people that I know, and because I know you guys because of this crazy little journey I've taken, and no regrets. Everything that happened, every moment that I fucked up or I got drunk or I got high and I went on a panel, and whatever embarrassments, whatever attacks that I felt, it was all worth it at the end of the day, because I got to know some of the most loyal, fiercely loyal, amazing people that I could ever have hoped for. You know, not my friends IRL, they're not about this YouTube life shit. You know, some watch my live streams, they don't watch the other show, or vice versa. You know, they didn't fully understand when I felt very stressed over what was happening at that time. But you guys the support. It's one of the things that fuels me to keep trying to make better decisions and do things in the name of my own damn health, because it shows me that there is some kind of worth or value, even if I don't feel it. So God bless you and thank you. So briefly before the crash out, and it's going to be a crash out, here's something, since, I'm just going to do the opposite of something. It's fair game. I hear all the time, Israel, the Jews, this, that, and the other, always, and it's always in reference of taking away their power in terms of like a narrative, right? So I'm going to propose this video. I am not defending Israel. Actions like this are deplorable. It doesn't matter what side anybody's on. As a human being, hearing something like this, what is being described deplorable? I ask, where's the energy and the outrage for the Iranian protesters, which was anywhere between 3,000 to 40,000 innocent, unarmed civilians that were destroyed by government goons? But somehow, Israel and the U.S. are the bad guys for even making attempts at, I won't deny, we are clearly not going there just to liberate the Iranian people, but taking away that Sharia law shit, their ayatollahs, fucking W. So, all right, we can always point at how the Jews are always lying about any story. Let's propose this. And I ask you, is this enough to be convincing? And I'll ask the questions that are relevant. And I accept, and I know that people will disagree. That's what the marketplace of ideas and discourse is all about. And that personal friends of mine will be mad at me for covering this and asking the questions I'm asking. But fuck it. One life to live. Take all your risks and accept all the consequences. Otherwise, there'd be no spice to life. Let's go.
And what does the situation on the ground look like now?
Well, I am standing in Shuhada Al-Aqsa Hospital, which is located in Deir al-Balah in southern.
Has just ended. What does the situation on the ground?
I want to ask you to listen to the tone of her voice. I understand delays, and I understand, everything that goes into why sometimes a reporter that's on the ground may respond in certain ways that don't look exactly, I don't know, it doesn't come off as natural. So there's other elements at play here, but tell me you don't get a vibe. Hell, I'll even be the one to take all of the accountability. Maybe I get a vibe. Maybe I'm not fully convinced yet. Just because it may help a narrative for me, that doesn't make it true. I honestly am going to share everything so that I can be challenged. I'm not saying I believe the questions that were proposed to me given this video, but let me share it and shut up for once. Then I'll ask the questions. Could it be a teleprompter? And then when a specific vehicle comes up, when a specific vehicle comes up, how the fuck does she have X-ray vision and is able to tell you exactly what's in that vehicle before anything comes out? And by the way, what's being reported is a massive amount of, God forbid, I hope it's not true, children that were completely demolished and attacked, and they're survivors. Here's the background. No kids. These are emergency vehicles, open. We're going to see another ambulance vehicle approach and open. No kids, no injured parties, nothing. I hear a lot of claims, and I hear a lot of stories and tales. Where's the evidence and where's the footage? So, okay, here we go.
Look like now?
Well, I am standing in Shuhada Al-Aqsa Hospital, which is located in Deir al-Balah in southern Gaza. And this is where basically the Israeli military asked Gazans to evacuate. And what we are witnessing right now is whole families, children, women arriving to the hospitals. The Israeli warplanes airstriked a home that belonged to Abu Jbara family located in Deir al-Balah in southern Gaza, we saw whole families. I myself saw children, at least 10 children under the age of 5, with their heads cut off, their bodies. If you can see around me, we can still see the ambulances arriving to the Shuhada.
Ambulance arriving. Ambulance arriving, right? 1 out of 2 vehicles we're going to see in this clip. We're supposed to have a bunch of people being rolled out.
Al-Aqsa Hospital, mostly women, mostly children. I mean, this is undescribable. This is like a massacre. The number that was published from the
Is that an empty stretcher?
Palestinian Health Ministry.
I'm not denying that heinous shit happens in Palestine and Gaza. I'm not denying that, nor am I saying that any of the very overzealous, overly aggressive shit that BB and company have done to them did not happen. Fuck no. I condemn it. Please understand. I'm not even a fucking Zionist. Is Zionism when one just believes they have a right to exist? That's it. I don't believe they have the right to expand, destroy, and expand. I am stuck in the middle here. But we're in an age where the middle is not even appropriate. You're a fence-sitting fucking cuck. You need to be all in and all in, blood out, gang. You need to be on this side or that side. You need to condemn an entire people or not. Well, keep that fucking energy. I look at Islam as a problem. I look at Israel as a problem, but I don't want both people as an entirety to be eradicated. And just like questions can be levied at Israel, I can levy fucking questions at anything that they propose to us as a fucking fact. And I'm waiting to see what's being described to some degree. I don't want to see anybody that's truly harmed, but fuck, I just saw an empty stretcher. Let's let more is going to occur that will have you going, maybe you'll take a second watch, but here you are. Again, I saw this first time I saw it, I asked no questions. Then somebody had to maybe plant a little seed. Then I watched it again with fresh eyes.
Is that the death toll here in Gaza is up to 2,215
Empty stretcher.
Palestinians.
Number 2.
But me standing right here in the hospital, I can clearly tell you that the number is going up every hour.
3 empty stretchers that I've seen now. There's one that's been there in the corner.
More injuries arrived to the hospital. Here is an ambulance full of children.
How does she know it's full of children, by the way? It's supposed to be, namely children, I think was proposed to us as the conquering narrative, but she said a woman was being rolled out of the last one. That stretcher came out empty. Completely fucking empty. Where was the injured woman? Where's a single injured person for this, at least this thing that's being televised? I'm only asking the questions. Candace Owens, I'm only asking questions regarding this footage. That's all that's available for now. I know there's other shit out there. By God, it's awful. But this particular one, is it possible? Is it possible? Just like we know Israel has their influence in our country. Don't you think? How do you explain away Tucker Carlson getting $15 to $18 million from Qatar? How do you fucking explain that away and say, oh, that was just, he's so valuable, they just wanted to invest in him? Yeah, okay, sure, okay. Him and that entire side now, suddenly, they're just fully fixated on Zionism. And I understand why Zionism has become so damn polarizing, but they've turned a blind eye to the 25% of radical Islam. That's 3 million people willing to strap a fucking bomb on themselves and take out everything they fucking can. How do you blind eye that shit? Or the laws that are put into place where the people on the left, the LGBTQ fucking elemental P, they fight for Palestine and Gaza and Islam as an entirety. But if you go there as an LGB, LMNO 123, Michael Jackson, OPP, you know me, you're fucking publicly taken down, son, dangling off a roof somewhere, or stoned, or worse, or burned. I don't understand. I found another channel through Facebook, because I'm a boomer, where It's beautiful. People are getting fact checked and shown to be ignorant, stupid. And there's one video I just stumbled upon of a Arab Muslim who sets down like a change my mind kind of atmosphere. He says, I am an Arab Muslim and I support Israel's right to exist. He doesn't say Zionism. He doesn't say expansion, right to exist. And he fucking schools every single person. That was amazing.
I can see the children where I'm standing. The situation is undescribable. Whole families, children under the rubble, children being killed.
Okay. Look right here. Okay. Where's the droves? It was full of children. That's exactly what we were told. This vehicle, somehow she knew, is full of children. Okay, let's wait. Is it gonna be like, droves of bleeding people being pulled out of there as described? How did she know? Again, was the prompter let off a little too soon? Is she reading or being fed information? Say this, even if you don't know why this there. It's empty. Just fucking sell it. Just sell it. We're being lied to. It's no longer crazy to ask if we're being lied to when faced with something like this.
I have never witnessed anything like that. I've been covering escalations on Gaza for years now. And what we're witnessing right now is a whole massacre.
Convenient. Oh. Hold on. Why? We're going to get that right back on.
Children, at least 10 children under the...
Hold on. We're going to get right back to that. Convenient. Somebody ran up in the shot. Let me get right back to it.
Escalations on Gaza for years now. And what we're witnessing right now is a whole massacre.
Oh, okay, it cuts off. It looked like another empty vehicle.
Gaza, and this is where
I'm not doing anything revolutionary here.
I have never witnessed anything like
I've never witnessed anything. What did we witness? People are reaching in. I see nothing but empty stretchers.
And what we're witnessing right
One
now
is not even
whole
properly
massacre.
prepped. Okay. I don't know. All right, the crash out. I
Has
promised to
just
crash out.
ended.
Let's kill
What
this.
does the situation on the ground look like now?
Go back to the studio. All right. This is an anti-Israel. Thank you and welcome, by the way, left hands. It's okay. I don't mind that you saw me in that other it's Indy's chat. I adore Indy. I adore that entire community. And I have an allegiance to each and every one of them, and I understand that some of them they may not all get along. We're a species, and as a whole, we're doomed to never all just get along. Just like nobody can be ignorant enough to believe they're universally loved by everybody when they put themselves out in the public. So, just that being said, I acknowledge that there's some people that don't get along, but I love all of you. I'm referring to those communities. You're always welcoming. What's up, my brother Shade? There will be a call coming to you this week because I'm going to be gone for a minute. And yeah, you're one of the people I want to tell. Okay, the crash out. So I'm going to go to my Facebook homepage here. Oh, God. I give you your props for making it for this. And if you can stomach and hear everything I have to say here, let me see how well this was received. Now, I don't want to dox all of the friends of mine. There is some family. So I'm just going to read this shit. Sorry. No, I am not sorry. You may get bored, and I'm going to read this with some conviction. I left it public. This was the rantings of a night I could not fall asleep. So here we go. I made this post yesterday at 8:37 in the morning. No sleep. The internet could have been something truly great and unifying. It still can be. I suppose, like most things in life, it's about how one chooses to engage. For me, I see the dangers manifest and people begin crafting a new reality based solely on what they see and do on this thing. It gives one an ability to step away and look at it all, at us. Perhaps I'm mistaken, and I hope I am, but I'm seeing patterns that make me feel ill. I'm seeing hatred and division more than ever. Now, incoming, this is a little bit long. I wear the Star of David because it reminds me of my grandma, motherfuckers that have issue with it. I've gotten your messages and I will not be intimidated. I wear this not because of my political ideology or my dogmatic theology. I wear this because I loved my grandma. I love my grandma and my great grandma and every ancestor necessary to bring her into my life. So fuck you if this is enough for you to want to see me deleted. Bring it. But people in public don't know that. And boy, oh boy, let me tell you that it sure does unlock the hidden dialogue option in this game of life. Jewish, Muslim, Christian, Zionist, and non-Zionist alike all feel that my star is an invitation to overshare an opinion, or if they are exceptionally stupid, they'll let me know and expose just how much hate rules their lives. Now, I don't know what it all means, but damn me for being one to engage in damn near every conversation. Even when I know it's bait for an argument, I'll take the bait. I know what it's about. I've been debating long enough. I can handle it. Sometimes I need to remind myself, time and place, Eli. For the first time in my life, I am being asked why this necklace is on my chest near my heart, and I find myself justifying it. Why all of a sudden, after all these years on this planet, in this country, am I being asked why I have this fucking symbol on and where I stand both ideologically, oh God, and theologically, as I just said. It's my own fault for being stubborn, but I have the conversation damn near every time, and it is because of that, of this, that I am comfortable saying, yes. Yes, I feel like history is repeating itself. And that may be what a lot of people want, by the way. I'm adding that caveat. People, I think, just want to see bloodshed at this point. People are just frothing for it. We got all the right players in place to fuel that. Is that what we want, America? We want that? We want to get to a point where we're on the fringe of another fucking war with ourselves? So yes, anti-Semitism is all the rage. It's on the rise. It's the clickbait echo chamber that seems to be begging for a war. Never have I seen so many so easily dismiss a state or country and full out say it should be eradicated like it's nothing. I am not of the blood. I was baptized. You know the story. I don't need to. And perhaps I'm still struggling with, Christ in my own personal life. I work on it every day. I'm trying to be closer to God and Christ, and people are so critical of every word that I use when I talk about that. If I say God, I'm not trying to make an insult towards Jesus. That's such an ignorant thought process. I'm not like Ted Cruz, who won't say Christ is king because he's worried about campaign donors. All right, that's some next level shit. Me, I'll say Christ is king because I do believe that in my heart. I just know that I could be doing better. I feel like I should have read the Bible in its entirety. And when it comes to being a practicing Christian, I need to be just that. I need to embody that. Calling for unity, to me, was one of the most Christian things I think I could have done. And I tried to eliminate religion as a factor. And for that, I was corrected. That it wasn't a good enough call for unity. Okay. I am not of the blood, blah, 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 blah. Putting that in context and aside, I feel some strange pull to stand and fight against this popular sensationalized hatred. And aside, because I love my grandma and honor every ancestor, because I've been blessed with seeing the most fierce and loyal, unconditional love I've ever known. How the hell did it get back to this? Did we not have an entire world war over this very issue? The divide I also see in Christians, and I cannot lie, that terrifies me. I see it in some of you that I've known since I was a child. I lack the arrogance to state my confidence in knowing what I'm doing is the right thing, but I taste what it feels like to walk outdoors and be on edge. That I have to be prepared and have my head on a swivel because the rhetoric, propaganda, and hate is thick. It may be a whisper on the news, but it's a fucking scream on the net and in the private minds of many out there. Remember, literally, I'm not a Jewish person, but I was jumped by 2 fucking neo-Nazis. So don't forgive me, because I'm not asking for forgiveness, when I say I walk out there with my fucking head on a swivel. with this propaganda and rhetoric being turned up to a 12. Something I can't get out of my head, and this one I'd love anybody that claims to be a patriot and a loving American of all things America. How do you go to fucking glazing Hitler? Oh my God. So, yeah, openly talk about how Hitler was a misunderstood hero. What the hell is happening? How long has this thin line of psychosis been dormant? Why is hate so appealing? I recognize my own hypocrisy as I very publicly drone on about my fears of Islam, but even with that, I understand that any radical ideology is not the totality of a people or a race. Did you hear that? Not every ideology is the totality of an entire people or race, because there are such things as moderates, and then you have your extremists. No matter the percentage on any stat sheet, I still look at everyone as equal. And matter of fact, I recently stated as such on a live stream, only for someone else with the channel tell me how my call for unity was wrong because Christ is king. I'm sorry, but I never in my wildest dreams did I imagine that a call for more love would need to be corrected because I used the word God and not Jesus. What is this all going to lead to? Now, I'd love to read every mind after that last question, which is, what is this all going to lead to? What do you think? Those of you, I don't expect a very quick typing or explanation. I don't expect anybody to even respond, but I ask you to reflect for a moment and ask yourself, this keeps going the way it is. We're just in a boiling pot. Once this boiling pot meets its limits, boils over, what is it you truly expect to be on the other end? Are we trying to go down the path of elimination? Is that what we want? Is that what will solve everything? Will we live happily ever after? Or is it not in our blood, in our DNA, in our psychology as a species to kind of look for the next thing? Let's see. In no particular order, I'd say first it would maybe be the Jewish state, Israel, then maybe Islam, and then we'd be spread pretty thin after such a conflict, but we'd be in a disarray too from the vacuum, almost entirely ripe for a coup within our own country. And then we can actually, the incursion of immigration without checks and balances. Yeah, we can be wholly dominated already without even being aware. And yeah, I talk about that ad nauseum. And as someone that's also Colombian, I have plenty of people in my family that are not too prone to agree with all of my takes. But I see the importance for strictly enforced immigration in our country for various reasons. America is strong because we coexist. Please embody that strength because you feel it's the moral thing to do. Not just a national act, but a moral act, please. So yeah, what's the end game? That's my simple question. I'd love an honest response. It could be a comment. You can anonymously call in, or you want to panel up. You could drop a fucking comment or anything. Say you want to panel up. Because when I'm on this channel here, we can do that. On Stuck in the Middle, you could call in and stay anonymous. But you losers that I know are, and not all of you that are pocket watching are losers, but the ones that are pocket watching, that are the fuckers, that are the groypers trying to push your propaganda, you've been psyoped. You've been co-opted. You're busy running around telling everybody else that we are the problem when you yourself can't even recognize or have the self-awareness that you are regurgitating the talking points of someone else, and far gone is any sense of original thought. Your stream of consciousness has been completely destroyed, dismantled, covered by a fucking ooze. It's saturated, and now you're just a vessel for someone else's fucking message, for someone else's thoughts. Do not surrender your own convictions. Do not surrender what it is to be an American just to get the attaboys or to jump on the bandwagon, because it is so damn easy to hate. It's so easy to be angry. because it gets attention, it gets support. Trust me, I know. Going out there and shouting, please, more peace, more love, it doesn't get the attention you would hope. Again, I love the line in The Matrix where the agent tells Morpheus, we tried to give you a utopia, you being us, the human race, but you wouldn't accept it. We lost, millions of crops were lost. That would be us rejecting peace because, well, it's inevitable. It's the human way to find conflict. It's inevitable. We're going to fight. But calling for peace, yeah, I know. It's not the most popular thing to do. If I wanted to go full grift mode, I'd just be fucking glazing Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson, Dan Balzer, that entire fucking echelon of people. Oh, and here's the one video. There is one last clip I want to show. This particular one, I found it. I submitted it to our docket for Stuck in the Middle. We were going to go on tonight, but I'm telling on Josh. He wanted to watch WrestleMania. I don't blame him. He works hard. All good. Okay. Let's see. Nope. Oh, that's a funny one. I got to save that. Here it is. Okay. I don't enjoy the fact that
our country is
Fuentes is about to be on my screen, but I want to show you guys what I see. Now tell me, does this not remind you of a script? How I've seen various takes on this, and I accept, again, I don't have the arrogance to believe I'm the only one right about anything. But come on, look at this shit. All right. Tell me that Nick Fuentes and the Groyper movement and everybody in that echelon have not been co-opted by some form of special interest. How is it that someone that far on the right is saying some things verbatim as somebody on the farthest reaches of the left? See for yourself with your own eyes.
Our country is under a hostile occupation.
Israeli occupation of the United States government.
Israel controls our government.
Israel controls our government.
Control and influence and manipulate our system.
Ruled and controlled and manipulated by the nation state of Israel.
They are vampires. They suck our blood.
They suck the life out of this country.
We cannot be slaves to Israel.
I'm not a slave to Israel.
Iran does not have a nuclear weapon.
Iran did not have a nuclear arsenal.
The supreme leader of Iran promulgated a fatwa.
He had to put out a fatwa against nuclear weapons.
We had to join Israel's war of choice.
A war of choice. That's what this is.
The real threat to America is from Israel.
Maybe it's just me, but tell me this does not appear like some form of coordination before they go on their live streams and live audiences and play a very, very dangerous and serious game here. Because it is a game to them. They get to sit on the pedestals and make money off of this, while the people in the mud, the ones here on the mud, on the ground floor, were the ones that want to rip each other's throats out, never looking up at that pedestal. I'm not saying it can be a conclusion that cannot be reached from opposing sides, but by God, I'm also showing that maybe it's not just that. Maybe that this was kind of an orchestrated event, because they're word for word matching each other here. And why on God's green earth would somebody like Nick fucking Fuentes talk about wanting and waiting for an invitation on Anna Kasparian's show?
Our alliance with Israel as an existential threat to the United States.
They will nuke the entire world.
Israel is the biggest threat to world peace.
Let us never forget who the real enemy is.
The enemy is Israel.
We need to decouple from this country.
We need to decouple. Decouple. Let's separate.
We need to free America from this sick, perverse, parasitic organism that has attached itself to us. Foreign nationals leeching off of public services.
pariah state that has leached off the American people.
It's not just Netanyahu. On some level, it is the Israeli people.
The behavior of the
Okay, see, I would, if they would at least specify Netanyahu and the government are namely the biggest problem. But now, no, we're gonna take it up a notch, and we're just gonna blanket statement. We're gonna throw this umbrella over the entirety. Now it's not just about the state of Israel, but it's anybody that's Israeli. So now we're going into people that were just born there that maybe live in this country. Somebody that I have been honored enough to call friend for many, many years. She was in the IDF, and she is very hard line, like pro-Zionism, pro-Israel. I'm here just trying to articulate that I am not. I'm just advocating that they have a fucking right to exist, and I am not a fan of any expansion plans or any puppet strings or any of their money influencing our decisions, period. I want just America to be just here for that. Just America first, period. That's my stance. That's it. That to me is so simple. I don't understand why it's taken as a radical statement. And I feel it's only taken as radical is because I'm not jumping on the bandwagon of saying destroying Israel would answer all of our problems. No, I think both the Middle East, we damn well know this. Come on, Saudi Arabia and their fucking oil sheiks and princes, the Middle East and Israel, they both have their hands in the fucking jar. They're both fucking with us. Why is it so crazy to acknowledge that? Why am I punched on the right side of my face and told that this eye should be blinded to any of the issues and critiques I have for Islamic practices and specific countries? And I'm only told that this eye can stay open, but it has to zoom in and be there so I can only effectively blame and sow dissent within my own country. So that because there's a lot of Jewish people, there's a lot of Jewish people in this country and in the state I live in that are not even pro-fucking Zionists, but that's getting lost in this minutia, in this fucking pile. It's a game and it's dangerous. That game one day, it'll be not something that's being referenced on some reaction clip or live. One day it might find its way to your fucking doorstep. That's a concern.
Israeli government, and quite honestly, the vast majority of the Israeli population.
They dehumanize us. They don't see us.
I don't see Palestinians as human.
I'm an awakened goy.
Right, okay. Goy and kafir. What's the difference in terms of the usage? Goy to me is a non-Jew. That's what I understand. I've never personally heard it used. Believe it or not. Believe it or not. True story. My hand to God. I've never personally heard the term goy in my real life, just on the internet. And, never in my I didn't know any of this shit was in my family. I was never in a synagogue in my entire life except for a funeral. But anyway, if we're going to acknowledge that goy, just like in my Colombian side of the family, they do say gringo. Gringo just means a non-Spanish person, or I guess, I don't know, maybe whitey, whatever. Gringo, you're not Spanish. So gringo, goy, kafir, at least with kafir, we have, and I don't want to appear like I'm ignoring the scripture or the Talmud. There, I'm sure there is. I'm not as aware. This will expose my bias. The Talmud says something negative about goys to some degree. So, and I can't pretend bad look. I own it, but I do know in the Quran, it specifies it is okay. You are blessed. You are commanded to lie, cheat, steal, and or kill any kafir. That's everybody that does not believe Muhammad was the prophet and that Allah is God. And that's one of the youngest religions in the game. So tell me that's not bending the knee. So why is goy the one I should be hyperfixating outside of all of these words that excludes everybody that's not of that specific bloodline?
Jewish people think they're better than everybody.
And you think you're better than everyone else.
The Jews do this.
Yes.
Go the fuck back to Israel.
Go back to Israel.
Greater Israel.
the Greater Israel Project,
The famous dancing Israelis.
the whole dancing Israelis thing.
The genocidal state?
A genocidal, disgusting state.
Why would I give a fuck about Israel?
I don't give a damn about Israel. I don't give a damn.
And I don't fucking trust them.
I don't trust the Israelis.
Your right to exist is not.
I don't trust the Israeli government. There. Am I accepted to the pandering party now? Do I get the attaboys? I don't trust Netanyahu. I think I've made that so damn clear. I do not trust any government. How about that? How about fucking that idea? Just like I love the American people, but by God, do I have my gripes with the American government? It may be the best damn system that we got available to us, which sometimes I debate. And then I'll be called a leftist or something like that, which is amusing. We're allowed to critique anything and ask how we can do better. But suddenly you are just lambasted and you're a fucking pariah. You're a fucking, you're like, you know, the donkey being hoisted up so the candy gets beaten out of you, the piñata. We have become the piñatas when we dare speak out something we think or believe to be common sense.
Real.
I don't believe Israel has the right to exist.
Don't be moralized by wicked, evil.
What if we all focused about governments being the enemy for the majority of the countries in the world? What would that look like if all the citizens kind of united and all looked at our governments? That would be something I would be proud of. But God forbid that happens. The governments of the world need to stay united. The people need to be divided. Yeah, makes perfect sense if you're in power.
People
as evil as this exist in this world.
God's chosen people rejected their own Messiah.
You think you're God's chosen people when you act like absolute demons.
We can call any and every group within the limited means of this thinking demons and this and that. But all right, this is the games we're playing. There's another video. This is risky as shit being on X to me. I am relatively new to X. I signed up in like 2022 back in the old Crack Squad days. But yeah, I only posted like 3 times. So I only really started using X recently. There's one more briefer clip that I won't interrupt as much, which is really pathetic. That's why I want to play it. Let's see. All right. Nick Fuentes. I hope there's a day I never have to type this cocksucker's name again. Fuentes talking about Anna Kasparian. There is a clip about, is this it? Or is this the video that I just showed? It is. There's one more of him, and he's definitely playing up some humor.
Our country is.
But it's about how butthurt he is that he's not been invited to the show, to her show. That's what I'm looking for at present. Boy, am I nervous. Just doom scrolling X here. Mark Levin. Megan gaslights that she's being criticized for simply reporting polling on Israel. Well, okay. Maybe the clip can't find it in the immediacy of the moment, but it's okay. Just know, and I've made it clear, my doubts, my fears, if I am a part of communities that entertain conspiracies as openly as we do, and I'm proud of that. I'm proud that we speak clearly, openly, regardless of any optics or backlash. It doesn't matter. We've been doing this a long enough time. I'd like to think that we're confident enough in our abilities to think that we're not ashamed of just expressing what that thinking inspires. There's a load of other material I have, but I'm holding it in the reserve for that show. Remember, you got to type it at the @ sign stuck in the middle. I do hope you guys check that area of the internet out. It's a much more purified area of the internet, even though we get fucking crazies that call us. It makes the show entertaining. And it's so disingenuous and representative of their tactics. And I mean the groypers that they prank call and they try to say things, do things, whatever, that will get us flagged. And that has been an attempt made by somebody who is abusing our platform and the freedom he has on it. And what are we doing? We're only honoring the engagement of dialogue. And that's some low-hanging fruit shit when you're trying to get the very platform that's allowing open dialogue canceled. Have we not seen what that looks like with the loss of our brother Charlie Kirk? If we eliminate all these spaces and places for us to have our debates and our conversation, well, then we're left with that singular alternative, which is striking our neighbors, fearing our neighbors, and obsessing about violence and enacting it until it's too late and we're so far gone and lost that the powers above us, the powers that be, the ones that don't know what it's like to struggle through an honest day's work, reap the benefits and watch us roll around in the mud. I may return. I have to tell you guys, I mean, it's been essentially spelled out very, very openly in this live stream. But just know what comes next, what comes ahead, it's for me more than anything else, but it's also in part because of many of you that are in here right now, even you, OT, and Shamrock, you know, even BSR, even someone I barely know that I've met through another panel channel, like DJ Pooh, Actions Not Distractions, goes by another name, White Dragon, I haven't seen him in a minute, Maxwell, I mean, there are Stephen A, who goes by WX now. I'm so grateful, and I feel there's a sense of debt that I need to pay for the fact that you guys have rocked with me as long as you have, with all the waves and all the insanity that has occurred on this little fucking crazy part of the interwebs. I want to be a better me so that when I do things like this, I can reach my full potential and speak with the clearest of mind and confidence. And even I may be uncomfortable when I return. I may not want to do this at all, but I'll have the compulsion because it's something I've always wanted to do. I enjoy talking. I enjoy speaking, broadcasting. My father went to school for broadcasting. I was a DJ for 10 years. I just felt magical when I had the microphone. So I'll let all the cats out of the bag in one of the future near live streams. But until then, God bless you. God bless you all. We're in, I believe, an important time. I cannot sit here and pretend. You all know I don't like the doom soothsaying. I don't like the end is nigh porn. I don't like, oh my, just look around. You know how often an American in earlier times said, look around, the end is nigh. It's an attractive and easy thought process and narrative to push and spin. Getting people scared is one of the easiest way to get them to listen to you. And that's not the path I want to take. I would hope that I'm a part of a community that still has a sliver of hope. And maybe even the compulsion to fight the right fight before the fight goes brutal and hands-on. God bless you and your families. Rest in peace to Shamrock's recently departed loved one. And it's her dog. Everybody that's a pet owner knows how rough that shit is. It's still fresh in her life. So prayers for, God, is it Rocco? Pipples. You're just a good person. And I don't care about other people that because you do what you do where you want to and they have something to say about it. I can't afford to give a shit or give the precious time to do so. The small little politics of YouTube are so silly when we look at everything that is happening. Yeah, Look around. See the things that are happening and acknowledge how big that is. Don't immediately go to, oh God, it's doom. It's the void. Just consider the implication and the possibilities of what it could all do if we don't get our heads right and we forfeit the want for dialogue and we just go with blinded action and violence. I don't want to see that. All right, I could talk on for years and years without much of a breath, and I don't want to keep ranting, so I appreciate each and every one of you. I hope to be back sooner than later. I am 2.5 years of no alcohol in my system, just damn near equal with marijuana. That's nothing special, but I miss smoking. I just can't. And the antidepressant I take for the diagnosed bipolar when I was 19, yeah, I want off of it. I don't want anything in my blood. I want to say I am, el natural and nothing is co-opting me. So if that's an indication as to what's occurring in the future, speculate away. All right. God bless.